Check one. You guys hear me? Mic sound okay? Background audio sounds weird? There I am. Stream audio just misbehaving lately. Spent 6 hours getting mine sorted out on Wednesday, Liv says. Yeah, it's really weird. I had a stream on Wednesday. I think everything was fine. Nobody said anything was off. So my voice is okay. Is system audio coming through okay? Let me just play something. And then you guys tell me if it sounds okay or if it sounds like crap. We'll just play something simple, I guess. Like maybe just like a drone or something. That feels good. Okay, good. Liv, the green screen is it's not going to be up all the time. I'm just in the middle of shooting a bunch of videos for Ghost Hack right now. I don't want to take it up and down, and yeah, okay. Okay, so that's really weird. Just odd desktop audio and mic issues all at once. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I just didn't want all the personal artwork stuff in the Ghost Hack videos is all. So, yeah. So you guys will probably see Nico art again at some point, but right now it's off. So that's so weird. Is Logic in general just not putting out good audio? Let's see here. Weird. All right. Well, regardless. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Missed you guys last week. But excited to hear what you guys made for us to listen to this week. Boke Nero showed up early this morning, brought some sounds. I haven't checked the line yet in the public feedback queue yet. Let's see who brought music. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Shall we? Stephen Acosta, welcome in, man. Hope you're doing well. Boke Nero, happy Friday to you. I'm just scrolling through the chat right now, reading people's comments about the sound. I wonder what it sounded like. It must have been something really, really, really glitchy, huh? Trey Tovin walking in with the guts to say, what happened to the audio? Everyone else is like, this must be experimental madness. Gavin, welcome in. Trey, I hope you're doing well over there. Always good to see you, homie. Liv, I hope you're doing well. Rabagasta, welcome in. BWNB, welcome in. Baby boy, howdy. Let's pin that. Boom. Okay, so link to the Discord is at the top of the chat for anyone here looking for feedback. We'll jump right in. Saffron, welcome into you. Hope you are doing well. You knew it wasn't normal. Thanks for looking out, honey. Appreciate you. Okay, cool. So let's, I think we're going to jump right into Boke Nero's sound design first, and then we'll hit the public feedback queue and see what music we've got popping. I hope you all had a really good week last week. For those we didn't, for anyone I didn't run into on Wednesday's stream. Missed you guys. We will not be doing next Friday's live stream either. It's the last big event for my kid's school, playing chaperone for the field day. So we got one more. We're back to situation normal on Fridays. So, all right, kitty cats, you ready? Shall we do this? I got my tea. Yeah, reaktor. Reactor. Oh, Liv, yes. Okay, so you are like, you're done? Are you done with school? No more school? All done with school? So you're on the job hunt? Going to be streaming basically every day, except this weekend because going out of town. Okay, okay. Excellent. You're graduated. Hey, congratulations. Oh my gosh. And you're going to be doing a bunch of streaming. So you have no homework and all the time in the world to make noise. Ooh, ooh. I should send you a bunch of sound packs or something. Congratulations. Happy graduation. Wow, what a big day. Yeah. Oh, good for you. Yeah, super exciting. That's so great. Okay. Let's head over here. We're going to listen to Bokenero. Bunch of stuff. Got to do a lot of mechanical stuff. Made sure there are pauses between each clip. So if you want to pause and talk about it, you can. Also, in these clips, you can tell when camera is zoomed closer to my character, the sound is louder because of the proximity. Right. Cool. All right. Let's do this. I like that. It's pretty simple. Nice. Okay, so I really like there's like creature sound and you've also got the footsteps of the little critter. Really good detail work, and you're not like pushing volume in any weird way on it. Really good. Really good. I think I'd put another riser in this one. It's got a really good like rotational energy kind of sound to it, but it's also building and it doesn't have that much build effect to it. Something that just can kind of slowly wind up, just a little zzz, kind of thing like that. It doesn't have to be overt. It can be kind of tucked inside the thing. An internal kind of charge sound. I want to see that one again. Yeah, so just like a small little whoosh, right? For the motion of it flipping, just a tiny little whoosh kind of thing, I think would be really nice. Yeah, same feedback as before on the charge up. I like the quick wind up right before shot, but I do think something larger kind of embedded in the device itself would feel good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It almost felt like an implosion kind of ending. Syndremic is here. Tombus here. Welcome in, guys. So if it is, I mean, we should kind of go back and look at this, but if it is like this kind of suck effect, this kind of implosion. Yeah, it does. Like I'd put like maybe a small little suck back in there as well then. Just something to add a quick little kind of thing. Ooh, railgun. Yeah, okay, so I like that. I like the build, the charge in there. It was a little cannony towards the end, so I think what I would also like in there is just a steady beam sound, a steady laser beam sound, just like a kind of thing, and then agitate that with a little distortion, and bring that volume down and set it right smack dab in the middle of that thing, just so it feels a little bit more like consistent pulse and less cannony. I think it'd probably be a little bit more well aligned with the concept of the railgun. How scary the railgun is in the game. It's super loud. It's my fault for making it loud in the game. Yeah, if you have something kind of sustained embedded in there, I think that'd be super dope. Whoa. Okay, that was all good, but I do want kind of more thrust involved in these different parts coming up back over to him, or like assembling here. Yeah, so if there was just like a few little whooshes involved, just like a little, nothing like cheesy, something tasteful in there. Got to hear at least the wind resistance against them, if nothing else. But no, see, they all have thrusters, so we need to hear a bit of the velocity and thrust, like the propulsion, and then a little bit of that kind of wind shear off of them as well, I think. Mm-hmm. Good creaks. Yeah, good footwork. Good footwork. Yeah. Ask you something really quick. Are you still placing the footsteps individually one at a time each time? Or are you creating like sampler instruments, right? And then just laying stuff down with keystroke or what? Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So more detailed it becomes, then the more hands-on it becomes for you. Got it. Separate footsteps, yeah. Okay. You know, if you put that into a sampler instead of just dragging in individual samples, it can do a couple of things for you. Because you have total control over how that stuff is delivered. So just simply walking your fingers back and forth on keys really quick is something that you can do really, really organically, and it can cut down a lot of the whole back and forth click, 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 click stuff. You can also set up just a little bit of panning treatment on the two keys, right? And you can alter the pitch just slightly, and then you can round robin the samples that are in there. You know, it takes a couple of moments to set up, but then in the future, what you have is that character. You have that character on demand. So anytime that character comes into a scene, you pull up that channel strip with that sampler on there, and now that's a walkabout, right? Just food for thought. Debris. Let me see this again. Oh, okay. I was going to say we didn't hear much of the actual like tool here, so this is good. I'd actually put more emphasis on the weapon itself. I think like leaning into the drag sound, and then at the end when he twirls the bat, I think that can be kind of like a signature sound for that character, right? The little whoosh, whoosh, like a yep, job complete. Something he can do at the end of good battles. This is good. There is a little lack of elemental presence for the fire. Like if there's just like a little ripply kind of sound of just the presence of fire on a sword. I hear a little. Yeah, the only thing that stands out to me on this one that I'm not hearing is how the actual attack sound differs from others. Like it's got this really cool little cutaway here. This is all awesome. Mm. Ooh, you know what it is? You know what it is? It's the slice. The slice sounds like blade on stone. And it could be like searing into flesh kind of sound, like a right? Instead, because now we're going into this kind of liquidy thing, but we were coming from this kind of grinding thing. Does that make sense? That's what was bumping me. Okay. Atom bubbling. Yes, the bubble. Solid. Good. Yeah. Couple in a row, really solid. Yo, okay, I really like that one, and I would also probably include just a little bit more of that harmonic sheen when he's moving, because that was really, really nice. In the beginning, you've got a couple really kind of thin little, almost whispers of this kind of harmonic sheen. Um, Really nice, and I think if you continue that, it just tiny, tiny little threads of it. It's really good. I like that character. Yeah, this one's great. He's got like a really musical kind of thing going on. Yeah, that's good stuff.
No more games.
Yeah, same with these melee scenes. Just to go back to the sampler concept, like you don't have to have something big like audio design does to do the whole really quick uh, trigger-based sampling stuff. You can use something like Kontakt or whatever sampler is your favorite, but you can do that with your melee hits as well, right? Think about this: if you've got like 4 or 5 keys that you know incredibly well on the keyboard, and you've got your different like fist impact sounds, on these keys. And then you've got a couple of other keys over here with your effort sounds. You're just watching in real time, and now you're playing these sounds with your sampler, right? But it is this kind of organic delivery of things, and it makes putting the sounds in there quicker. And then what it does is it kind of frees up you mentally for those moments. You can listen back and you can think to yourself, now that I'm listening back and not actually placing them, right? You're experiencing it in one go, right? All of these different things instead of one at a time. And what it does is it triggers in your mind the overall effects that could be happening. There isn't time for your mind to go there with the individual hits when you're focused on them quite so much. So once you zoom out and you're hearing, a quick sequence, 4, 5, 6 seconds, right? You realize, oh, there's 3 different places for whooshes in here. There's actually a thud I could put in here for extra impact. I could totally layer in a slap here. And you're just thinking more sequentially, right? Yeah. Sound goodizer is on everything. Hey, Liv, take care. And congrats again on graduating. You're super awesome. Somebody hire Liv. Liv is looking for work after graduating from college and is an amazing individual. Somebody hire Liv. Okay, red versus black. Yeah, when time slows down the first time there initially, it'd be cool if things got a little quieter in general, right? So we can hear a little bit more intricate detail. The other thing that I think would be kind of cool is, the fast tick that you've got on stopwatches? When you hear one of those and things kind of seem to have slowed down at the same time, it really kind of really enhances that feeling of slowdown for some reason. Um, might want to think about including one of those. Who graduated? It was Olivia. Yeah. Okay, so you guys, shall we get into some music? Oak, you are crushing it. You're absolutely crushing it with all the sound design. It's flipping fantastic. I feel like overall, my feedback, just in general, on what we've just heard, is there's more of I think, a trust in the greatness of the sounds, and there's less of a feeling of a need to drive things to a greater extent. So all of the individual sounds that you're using are really being felt the way that they should be, and they don't feel like they're being delivered more forcefully than they need to be. Um, it's sounding really, really good, especially all of the more intricate mechanical work that you're doing right now, right? Like the little robot critters and um, more lean in sounds. And there's a much greater dynamic range in all of your stuff right now between the smallest detail work and the big, profound impacts. There's a much greater distance between those things now. And I think that's so great. That's so great. It feels um, there's greater buy in all of the scenes. Yeah. Hmm. A 2-minute cutscene you have to make sounds for. That's great. That's going to be a good challenge. Yeah, yeah. Tomba, welcome in. Glad to hear PC is fixed. Um, oh, man. You know what? I've got 2 in a row from you here right now. Um, and we're going to check them both because it looks like the first one is you missed the stream. We actually didn't stream last week. So I feel like we've got this extra one in us, right? All right. Saying I missed the stream. Finally finished this track too. Hope Chris Martin likes it. Always in my head.
This, I guess, is to tell you you're chosen out from the rest. My body moves, goes where I will. But though I try, my heart stays still. You're always in my head. 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 This, I guess, this is to tell you you're chosen out from the rest. This, guess, I guess. My body moves, goes where I will. And so as to be fair, but you're always in my head. Always in
Okay, Tomba, I think this one's really nice. All right, couple of things here because I really like the feels of this one. I think the claps can come up a little bit. I think there can be just a little bit more of a pronunciation in this kind of rhythm that we've got here. Also, the sustained elements in general, and these are the elements that are sticking around for long periods of time. They have pretty much the same volume throughout. Let's get those things moving up and down just a little bit. Sometimes they can be creeping up over like 20 seconds to kind of meet this crescendo at this next point in the song, right? So there's this constant steady change, and other times it's just going to be like a little shift. But just a little bit more movement in those sustained elements. And that's going to help bring more focus to exactly which elements you really want to focus on. I think it's pretty clear now, but it's just kind of reinforcing all of that. Backing vocals on the sides can come down when the main vocal is present. They're a little bit competitive there, and they should really be supportive, and then also the ambience on the sides when the mix is full, just bring it down. And in general, just kind of want to make a comment. It's down here at the bottom, but when making the really atmospheric stuff, it's kind of a trap, right? When you amplify the atmospherics, right? They're there to create the feeling of atmosphere, right? Not presence, really, right? So there's this, it can be kind of at odds because as soon as that bit becomes kind of charged, the buy-in factor for the listener, it wanes a bit, right? So separate processing on your atmospheric elements from your other elements, so you're not doing quite as much as expanding and compressing and general loudness stuff on those. Pulsing synth in general, I think it can come down a good 5 dB in general. Automation changes aside. And then, yeah, just use automation on different elements throughout the mix to make more changes. Some of them long form changes, and some of them just around points of transition. Excuse me. Just for more defining. Really good track. Really good track. It's a trap. Yeah, Tom, but the more of your sound that you can hear as it is actually being heard on other devices, the better off, like the more informed you are, right? And right now, if you feel like you're not actually hearing all your stuff, then yeah, that's the first thing to address for sure. For sure. You can get really good headphones for not much money these days, and you can get kind of in like that 100-ish range. You can get a wide range of types of sound too. So it's important to kind of seek out one that gives you something that's fairly down the middle and representative of what is actually there, not a lot of coloring or embellishing. Biodynamic is a really good one. So I definitely recommend kind of getting some feedback from folks that you trust. All right. This one is called You and I. Tumba saying, change my mind. Levels are a bit skew-if on this one, but I'm too full of pizza to care. Any tips on multiband compression would be appreciated. Excellent. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even see the update here.
love you like me. No one, no one's gonna love you like me. No one, no one's gonna love you like me. No one, no one's gonna love you like me. No one. Is this love? Is it worth it? Is it us? I feel it burning in my heart. I feel it burning in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think things are definitely more defined and present and clear with whatever was happening in the, or compared to what was ever happening in the first mix of this one. Vocal specifically is really sitting on top of things better. Greater balance shift here at 46 seconds. Like that whole section, I think, can feel definitively more different than the section that came before and what comes next. So that way, when we're moving between these sections, we can actually feel the entirety of what's happened. And I think that having more character, like that is unique to each section, would be really good for the song. It would feel like the kind of progress as we're going through the song. It has that feeling of feeling right. You know what I mean? Because we're shifting some things, but not all of the things, and it leaves it almost in kind of this ambiguous kind of state, right? So sit and think about like what exactly could shift here. What can we remove after 45 seconds, like in this section? What can we remove that is still present from the section before that might actually help us focus on what's happening with the vocals, for instance, or what's happening with the bass, right? Like picking something specific and thinking about what you can remove, I think would be a really good thing to do there. 218, really nice tight sound overall. Just want to mention that. I can hear all of the different elements. I do think that the sub can come down a bit in general, and I do think that there are more volume balance decisions to be made. Like I'm not sure that all of the sounds that we're hearing in each one of these sections are at the level that they should be, and I think that's part of what I'm getting at with this comment at 46 seconds. Some things don't need to go away completely. They just may need to come down in volume a good like half or something. But make a couple of bold decisions in that section, and then listen back and see how it hits you. Had to throw some timbre in there. Syndromic says, I petition to rename public feedback to public fridge pack. No reason. Don't give me that look. Oh, nice. Tom was saying, I used a couple of new plugins and fiddled with saturation and levels a lot on this. Olivia helped me with this and taught me on how to use a compressor for tonal reasons. I really don't want to drop I want to drop to pop on this one. Yeah, I think that is what is missing, is the real pop. And that, I think the secret is that juxtaposition, right? The contrast. So the more separation you can create, the better. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. It's a really good place to start, Tumba. Remove some elements, single out the vocals before the drop, help the new elements kick a bit. Yeah, it's good stuff. AD, it is you. You ready for this? Oh, it's your first track that you actually like. Feels like you're learning. Hey, now that's a good feeling, Tomba. And you've been bringing some pretty good stuff. So it's good that you're starting to like what you're bringing. That's good. All right. This one. Nerds are better.
People jealous of a motherfucker who can't make a living because he real as shit, his principles, and yet he isn't. Stuck in school no more, I'm like all of them stupid bitches who put lies on my name cause I ain't cater to opinions. Was grinning and getting venom for listening to her shit and witnessing anime. Now women wanna be all the minutes, trying to ride the wave that we set in life by existing. You don't fuck with my presence cause the future is what I live in. Been fucking with thick women since 6 inches, now LeBron's a midget when compared to my dick, bitch. Hating women to look cool to your friends with. If they anorexic shit, they won't swallow my jizz. Then y'all asking where did all the bitches go? They went to menu out they ass with your opinions, bro. Cause assholes cannot speak, they just be straight shitting. So they learning after high school, the nerdy men are cold. Said you the alpha, I bet, cause you don't got patience. And that's why your ex divide legs for Davis. And you wondering why like a math equation. You the whole alphabet, but not in OG prick. A body count of 80 means that you can't hold your bitches down. Don't wanna stick around, we be in ourselves and we don't value your opinions. How? We knew we better now. Welcome to the adult world. Lies and compensation when I keep you adult girls. So what about the girls? So what about the girls? Cause we not running your jaws, all your money in our burrow. I'm not making shit for no validation, bitches. And that's how the nerds set the trends up in the shit. If 80 don't stand for my name, then it stand for after death. After death, I'll get the fame, but in life I have to bet. Slave away to get a chain till I get my master's bed. When I finally graduate, mixes in my rice are wet. Nazis say I'm Jewish star. Saving up your money, you won't have to rent a car. Bill Gates could buy a fucking person. That should be your only goal. These goons thinking that they hard. Nerds are better. I make a dime cheese, earning cheddar. Nerds are better. I always did my thing. Nerds are better. Burning leather. My dopest fucking ride, winning better. Nerds are better. Nerds are way fucking better. Nerds are better. I make a dime cheese, earning cheddar. Nerds are better. I always did my thing. Nerds are better. Burning leather. My dopest fucking ride, winning better. Nerds are better. Nerds are way fucking better.
Cheers, Dashin. Cheers, homie. This has sounded solid. I think the strings down just a touch, but it's the sustain. So in your ADSR, in your envelope on the amp of those strings, take the sustain parameter down just a few dB. They'll have the same exact peak when they hit, but right after they hit, they'll start to come down and they'll stay sustained just a few dB down from where they are now, and it'll feel like butter. And also maybe move that mumble track to the left just a little bit, because sitting directly under the main vocal, there are a couple of points where it's like, it's causing a small amount of just a little bit. That's really good stuff. Oh, thank you, OmiBot, for the reminder. Our Twitch stream archives have moved. Until Twitch finishes removing the couple thousand hours of live stream archives on Twitch, we'll get around to putting up some greatest hits or something over there. But all of the archives going back several years can be found over on the new YouTube channel. So please give it a follow, subscribe, let us know that you're there, and watch all the episodes that you might have missed. Go back, watch feedback, all that good stuff. Stephen Acosta. It is you. Hey. I'm going to move this so we can go full screen here. It is you. Y'all ready for this? All right, let's watch.
My name is the narrator. Here we have our two warriors, Sisipo and Pish. Currently they are discussing the currency issues at North Train Station. These issues include icy twat loops, metro booming snares, metro booming 808s, and all around sample packs. They are on a mission to find out why and when these items started to depreciate. Here they are, under the bridge near the train station. Unbeknownst to them though, this bridge has an infection. An infection that one must fight through. Hallucinations are one of the many symptoms of this infection. Our two warriors are about to embark on a journey that they never asked to go on. And looks like the warriors are making their way under the bridge, but something is following them. Curious, Sisipo takes a look into a pond they stumbled upon. Peach then goes up to the pond to see for himself. There's nothing there. Peach is confused. Sisipo suggests that they leave. Sisipo then begins to argue with Peach.
What are you freaking out about? It's fine. Bro, you're losing your shit, bro.
This is due to one of the first symptoms of the staph infection, anger. Once again, Peach goes over to the pond.
Yo, there's nothing there. What are you talking about? Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, I don't know. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Are you there?
Peach?
Where are you?
I'm right by the river. I mean, I'm right by the wall. I mean, I'm right by the...
Where are you?
Where am I?
Dishbo, wake up!
Oh shit, might wanna turn it down, mouse just broke. Spirit on the wall and they always float. Imaginary frog and he always croak. Imaginary fox so we always... Yet he was just here, where did Peach leave to? Probably shouldn't have called him a piece of poop. But I did. No turning back now, I see the background turning into a scary black cloud. And the cloud itself is similar to methamphetamine smoke. And the frog from before is in an adrenochrome cloak. What the fuck is Peach? I haven't here. Wait a minute, I think he just appeared. Yo, Peach, Peach, Peach. And then you're like,
Fuck. Yeah. Laffy Staffy floating all around me, need lobotomy. Why are they surrounding me? What you trying to be? Ripping out this stupid brain that's sitting in my cranium. Think I need uranium. Feel me like a stadium. I got schizophrenia, stuck in a terrarium. Real Sagittarius, still don't like the scary stuff. Taking out this stupid brain that sits up in my cranium. Wait, what the fuck is his face? I'm in the uncanny valley. I need two pistols, not one. Mustang and Sally. One for my head, one for my surroundings. I tell them about my problems, all they ever do is doubt me.
Steven, listen the fuck up,
Yeah.
Staffy's around me.
I ate the piece of taffy and they on me like a bounty. Supposed to make me laughy, but I'm feeling like I'm drowning. I'm all up in their vision, gotta bounce, I think they found me.
Dude, these are so dope. I freaking love these. This is so good. This is so good. Hello, narrator. If you remove some of the lowest sub frequencies from your vocal track, especially the reverb on that vocal, it will feel more defined and it'll kind of open up the whole. There's kind of this constant impact that's happening on systems that are allowing you to hear those lower frequencies. So if you cut that away, not only does that go away, but all of the energy that's being spent producing all of those frequencies, which is the biggest, the hardest ones to produce, all of that energy gets kind of redistributed in your mix. And I think it'll be a bit more lively. Also, try not to distort the lowest sub frequencies with your impact sound effects. And they will hit even harder in those moments. So cut out those lowest frequencies and put in just a plain like sine wave in place of them. And you'll have the best of both worlds. You'll have that sub impact where you want it down low, and you'll also have that crunch. Really love the beat on this one. It's really good stuff. And the video work is really great. I especially loved the transparent duplicate characters at the end there and the color work on them. Yeah, I just love the whole thing. I do. I love that you brought your homie into this whole thing. I want to see more. I want to see more. Madam Monteo, welcome in. Yeah, that is a fun song, huh? Yes, art. As always. Hey, Liv is still here. You have not dropped us yet. Stephen Acosta saying, me and my friend Peach lose our mind under the bridge while discussing currency issues involving sample packs. It's great. It's great. Anything is a song, you know? It's so good. Stephen saying, the video was so fun to film. I flew out to my friend's state just to record it. Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for the mixing feedback, on the impact sound effects and vocal. I agree 100%. Mono Mateo is saying, I heard you before, do you plan on making songs with the same amount of effort, but to actually try to make it sound high quality instead of using a Nintendo mic because you don't suck? No, this is definitely not sucking. You are definitely excelling at the art of not sucking. But I think part of the magic of what Stephen's got cooking right now is that it isn't aiming to be perfect and really leaning into not being perfect. And I think there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. That's just really good stuff. Ooh, June 11th is the next episode. Nice. Avenged. Avenged is here. Ready to be heard. This is Nightcore. Let's listen. Keep bringing more episodes. Can't wait for the next one.
Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got.
All right, nice, big, sweeping, dynamic surges in this one. I think you can make him even more emotionally surging and exciting by layering in a few more risers and whooshes if you dial them in just right. You got to use them minimally, but you can create more timbral tension and release by layering these things in, removing them at just the right points. You can also use a little bit of really subtle gating or LFO modulation to create this sense of like building, but at like this ever so subtly increasing rate or intensity. And then also, I think that just a little bit of, in general, and probably across the board on all of the sounds involved in the big crescendo, just kind of skinnying up those sounds individually, just a little bit, just going in and shaving off whatever kind of frequencies you can, both high and low. You don't want to take off any of their life force, right? But you do want to take away the most unnecessary frequencies. The biggest ones to worry about are the really low frequencies that tip into the subs, and of course those mid lows, because there's just so many different sounds in play during a big crescendo like that. So every tiny little bit that you can shave here and there without affecting the overall sound too much is really, really going to benefit you. It's going to feel so much more powerful. The other thing is go through and make sure that you really only ever have one true sub track in your track at one point. So if there's multiple things, especially around a big crescendo, multiple instruments maybe that have some rumblings down low, remove that stuff. Just straight up remove it, because you've got these big impacts in there. And you want to make sure that that's the only thing really hitting in those frequencies in that moment. Otherwise, everything in the whole mix becomes muddy and less clear, and it doesn't have the impact that you expect it to have, and you're kind of scratching your head as to why it doesn't sound as big as you thought it would. Also, at 141, you kind of hear it pretty clearly here, but the reverb on this is fairly inflated. It's kind of saturated and intensified through limiting. So just make sure that if you're making stuff louder through limiting and whatnot, that your reverb levels and the frequencies at play in your reverb channels are managed, so they aren't becoming bigger and bigger with the rest of the mix. All right, that's what I got for you on this one. Billboard hits are in the making. Yeah, Stephen Acosta. Yeah. Syndromic is saying, so much sound in this one. Dylan Stark vibe, says Liv. At Corboon. STP, welcome in, homie. Happy Friday to you. STP saying, what's up, homies? Are you working on some metaphysical stuff today, Chris? I saw it on your screen. Oh, you know, I had metaphysical as part of the intro music. I wonder if that's actually playing. Does this sound like regular sound now to you guys, or does this sound glitchy? I had some weird reactor stuff happening this morning as the intro music. Mata Mateo saying vocals could have some more dimension on them. They got flattened out and squashed all the weight out of it. Also, try not to mix already perfectly mixed vocals unless they're perfect, or unless they're specific effect purposes. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Things that have already been mixed and kind of mastered in their way for like successful use in a wide range of applications, those are typically the kind that you do want to touch with great intention when you do touch them. That's for sure. Yeah, you are welcome, Avenge. I hope it all vibes with you. Helps you make it feel, helps you, I hope it helps you make it even better. Liv says, I'm going to be jumping in the car for a road trip here so I may or not be around for this feedback, but I wanted to send what I've been working on lately. Really pointy mix that I feel like I'm struggling to get loudness out of. Also, I think I'm missing an element in the middle section, like likely something in the low mids to give the sub support, or rather the sub to support. But I don't know. It also needs a title. I was thinking, oh, okay, but I'm not married to anything. All right, let's see what we hear in this one. Hi, Liv. Happy graduation, Liv. Oh, that's lovely. Liv, it's really good to hear you. Happy graduation. Congratulations. I don't believe that I agree with what you're writing here. That you're struggling to get loudness. I think you have a lot of loudness. I think it's actually plenty loud. It's too loud right now for it to really be felt. In the intro is what I was thinking. When the bass comes in, though, the whole thing starts to balance out a bit. You do kind of feel it slipping back into that mode a little bit when the bass pieces out towards the end here. So I think there's a mix for the moment in this feedback. The settings aren't changing much for this whole section compared to what we're hearing 30 seconds from now, from the intro, I mean. So I think there just kind of needs to be adjustments made for as things are actually happening in real time. So I'd back off the limiting, get a fair read of what the loudness is, and then use volume automation to really kind of drive all of those peaks and everything. And the bass can be what drives the overall loudness management. So I think the hats can kind of come down just a little bit. But yeah, I do think there's going to be quite a bit of volume automation in this one. It says 40 dB of limit gain reduction on it right now. I'd just remove that, I think. Yeah, but it does feel like there's just extra happening in this very early part of the song. And if you were to back off of that when the bass hits, oh goodness, and all of this kind of comes up for like to meet the bass where it is, oh my. It'd be like quite the blooming, right? Yeah, like this right here, those keys are like right up in my ear hole. Like they're like so up here. And I kind of want them just to kind of be back here, you know? And kind of moody, kind of stirring me up a little bit, getting me ready. That false sense of security. And then bam, you hit me with the wow. Oh yeah. You do have a good mastering engineer, I will say. Rabagast, it is you. Liv, it was so good to hear you. It's a lovely song. Man, Mateo, this is a work in progress. This is a first swipe. Rabagast. This one is called Isoli. Yeah, we tend to dwell in the realm of work in progress here, not end product. So largely what you're hearing here are things that are going to be worked on a bit more, which is the whole point of getting the feedback, really. So let's do this.
I'm scared of leaving you, just without you. I'm just being. Don't know how to be by myself, by myself, by myself. I don't know how to be by myself, by myself, by myself. Ooh, baby. Sometimes without you, I'm just me. Don't know how to be by myself, by myself, by myself, by myself.
All right. I love this. I love everything that you've done to it. That little rise in the beginning feels good. The clarity is noticed at 38 seconds. On the vocal, I think some de-essing can help with the sibilants. And I also think that the highs are a bit bright and hot on the vocals. Little hot. There's also some white noise in the recording that can be removed for more comfortable delivery. It's also possible that the noise is actually part of a sound effect track, right? You've also got some noise that comes in elsewhere, but I think that this is actually in the vocal recording. So when it gets bumped up in loudness, we're really hearing that. And I think I saw what is a good de-esser. What is the DAW that you're using right now? STP saying, I'd love to hear the bass line up a touch. You're in Ableton. Okay, so Ableton has a stock de-esser, I think. You can probably start with that if you don't have another one already, and see how it does for you. It might fix the problem for you pretty readily, and you won't need to go searching for anything else. Multi-band dynamics for de-essing, says Syndromic. That's exactly what's happening with the multi-band. Absolutely. Yeah. Really nice moment at 2:34. This noise feels pretty good. There is a couple of moments where it's just kind of like steady for a little bit, and the rest is it's moving around. So it'd be great if it just kind of moved around in those moments where it's really steady too. This whole track, like all these little things we're pointing out, are so nitpicky. This whole track is really great. It's got a really good vibe to it. 355, that tremolo pad can get a little fade in when it comes back. Okay, so as the high end is revealed at the end, what if you filter down on the drums slowly as you get to the end of the track, right? So it's like your track is being opened up, and like right as that pass opens, this other one's kind of coming down. Just for contrast. I don't know, just a thought. Mana Mateo says Fab Filter de-esser is really good, and if you have or get Sue, that works really well in combination. You can also use multiband compressor for that too. Yeah. Yeah, anything that'll help you just isolate a small band of frequencies and then just kind of dip down based upon a threshold that's being met. That's really all it is. So you don't need to go and buy like anything super fancy to fix that kind of a problem. Syndremic. Syndremic says, warning. There may be sounds here. There might be. Rabagas, you are welcome. Ah, yes, this is good advice from Manamonteo saying go light on the de-essers and don't be afraid to use a couple down the line of the chain. Doing a little. All right, Sin, let's do it. Yeah, this is a short one for you. It's so guttural too. It's got like so many throaty, lower register kind of things happening in it. It's dirty bong water. It's totally dirty bong water. Short. It's missing like 10 minutes, yeah. It's like a an excerpt. Maybe it was spilled dirty bong water. It's ephemeral. Oh, this is good. We'll leave that pinned in the chat there for people. Accidental water. Yeah, you know, it's just like 3 minutes 22 seconds of accidental water. It soaks up. It's the sound of the dirty bong water being absorbed into the carpet. Oh, happy Friday, Zin. I hope you're doing well over there, brother. This was good. You've mentioned recently that there's stuff that's going to be released. There's stuff happening. What's any updates? Any updates on what the plan is? Postponed. Okay. Okay. I won't push. I'm just excited for updates. That's all. All right, Vincent. It is you. This is Stacks. Sleepless. First verse plus chorus. Work in progress.
I keep my windows down, let the cold wind hit my face. Try to outrun all these thoughts I can't erase. Cause I don't wanna be fading away. I'm becoming my worst enemy. Obligated, medicated, memories started changing again. Should I keep it out of sight? Did I tell you I was sorry? It's the same thing every night, falling through the purgatory. Give me
Welcome in, Raiders. How was your stream?
solace in some place, somewhere far I could escape tonight. Things just aren't so simple anymore. 'Cause I'm sleepless, barely breathing, scarred and beaten. Yeah, I'm
Dude, this is solid. Sorry, we got interrupted by the raid here. I wasn't typing as much, but listening through this, I feel like this is pretty solid. I do want to go back and I want to listen to something here in the middle.
Cause I'm sleepless, barely breathing.
Yeah, I think by and large, I think that this is a pretty good mix. I would love to have you hand this off to someone that can really bring a lot of dimension and depth between the individual tracks in this piece, because it feels a little flat. It feels like it's lacking dimension. I know that we're in the work in progress state here. It's not a complete work. But it does feel like one of these songs that should just be kind of enormous, you know, like almost bigger than life at these bigger kind of crescendo moments. You got a ton of emotion tucked into this thing. So I'd love to see this have big surging changes around these points of transition and, you know, incredible depth, like I was saying. But this is a really solid track. What is your plan for this? What are you doing with your music right now? Is this, as you're releasing stuff, is it all just for like listening pleasure? Is this all going up on Spotify, etc., or do you have like licensing intention with these, or what's your story with these? Less than perfect saying stream was popping, but had to shut down early because of kids. Ah man, what were you guys doing today? You guys doing some feedback over there? Happy Friday to all of you. Thanks for coming over, by the way. If you are new to the channel, we do this every single Friday. We do a couple of other streams each week. There are production streams, though, typically. I do a lot of production work. I do a fair bit of cinematic stuff and a lot of music production stuff in between. So our community is pretty varied and pretty awesome. And you guys are all welcome to join us whenever you're not over there at Less Than Perfect's channel. Vincent dropped an album 2 weeks ago. Nice. Nice. Hey, listen to that. Mana Mateo saying, my song is next. If you like my mix, I'd love to work on it. Syndremic back again, stepping up onto the soapbox saying, feedback or fridge back? I put in a petition to change it to fridge back, but no one listening. You guys hear something? Less Than Perfect is saying, OhmLab, do you offer lessons? I do. Currently, I'm not really letting anyone in right now. If you are interested, though, send me a message and we will chat. We'll chat. Kind of exclusivity right now if you get in. It's simply about time. It's not me being an awful gatekeeper or anything like that. It's just super busy. That's all. But yes, if you are looking for some instruction on stuff or mentorship or whatever, shoot me a message and we'll chat. Phase 0. I see a mention in the chat for MainBot. Welcome in, Phase 0, if you're lurking. Oh, man. That would be something. You know, when you can get a kid super excited and you get a recording of that, oh, man, that's so good in a mix. So good. There's something really special about a little kid who's really excited. All right, Mana Mateo. Let me open this up over here. So I'm signed in over here, I think.
I'll fight my battles to the grave. I don't care who you are. I'll tell you everything about who you are. Sometimes I worry about fame more than who I'll become. It's everything I ever wanted, but I know it's too far. Alright, can't even remember who you are. So I will do anything you go too far.
All right. Okay, Manny Mateo, I think the song is great. And I think what you've done with the song is great. I think the kick can come down a little bit in the mix. Otherwise, I think the mix itself is pretty good. But the loudness on this thing is just too much. And then the mastering after it is just too much. So right now, I would guess that this is sitting somewhere around like a neg 6 LUFS or something. It feels like it's been mixed, engineered for like with an electronic mindset, like a dance music mindset. And this really deserves like a very gentle and authentic, kind of transparent, kind of clean mix. Just to be like totally honest here. So I would aim for neg 12 LUFS at the absolute loudest, right? Like typically you see this stuff coming in around like neg 16, neg 14, something like that for this super loud competitive scene that we're in nowadays. You do hear it getting all the way up to like neg 12, but when you're getting up neg 10 on an acoustic guitar, it starts to get this kind of an edge to it that's just not very pleasing long term, right? It feels kind of forced, and then what that is, it might feel good in the moment, it might feel kind of powerful at first, but it really does have this kind of diminishing return. You can't turn it up, and that's one thing that you really want to do with this type of music is turn it up, right? Especially when you get to those really good feel good moments, right? You get that chorus, and you're like, yes, I got to turn this up a bit, right? Especially if you're in the car, right? But you can't go anywhere when you max out a track like this. So that's my main feedback is the loudness. If you bring that down by quite a bit, if you back it all the way down to neg 16 LUFS, right, and this is integrated average LUFS, right, and you listen back to the supreme difference in audio quality between those two, I think you'll be pretty agreeable about finding a point that's between those two, right? Get a little bit more loudness and presence, that's fine. But don't disrupt the integrity of the sounds. That'd be my main feedback to you here. It's neg 1 dB and neg 10 LUFS. Yeah. Syndromic neg 12's LUFS? How dare you? We have battles to win out here. Oh, less than perfect. I will respond to you. Good luck with the kids out there. Yeah, Manny Mateo, this is really just about like the listening experience, right? So that's the reason why I bring up the loudness thing. Definitely like this song. I definitely think people will want to turn it up. So definitely give them room to do that at the very least, the ability to turn it up. All right, let's see who's next here. Samsung. Samsung's here. Let's do this. Ooh. Samsung, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. I love that we're hearing full songs. It's mixed. It's so good. Oh, man, this is so good. When do we get the full albums? Oh, man. Our Fornax saying, I don't even know how you make this. It sounds so complicated. Oh, man. So good. So good, Samsung. I love how this is coming together. So funky. Super tight. I feel like this is so good, like on all the levels. There were a couple of things that I heard at 244. I want that guitar up. Like I'd bring it up a good like 6 dB probably. And then that synth that comes in, it can come up a good 2 or 3 dB, I think. Other than that, I'm really liking all of the stuff that I'm hearing. It's so good. Yes, clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. Absolutely. Yeah. This is so good. This is so good. Yeah, Fornax saying just so many different instruments doing rhythm. It's just crazy. Samsung, this is ace. This is so good. I can't wait to hear more. So good. We've just been crushing it. Bring more. Bring more. All right, well, I feel refreshed. I don't know about you. But that was nice. I needed that. That was good. I'm going to take another sip of my tea. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Samsung. Fornax, shall we? This one is called AI from Diversion. Okay, Fornax. This is a little bit more hardcore than what we heard from Samsung, I think. Just a tad. Just a little bit. Solid dialogue samples in this. I feel like you've nailed the sample selection for maximum emotional impact equation. And I love how this lands in a screech here at 109. Really brilliant transition there. The only thing about this track that's going a little too hard is the kick, I think. It's just out of balance with the rest of the track. It's a really big jump. And I think it's probably too brutal for a lot of systems at that level. It's just, if you can bring that more in line with the rest of the loudness of the track, then I think you've got a banger here. Yeah, you know, if you're allergic to labels, then you can't do labels because you're allergic. I mean, you could, but then you probably get a rash or worse, probably. I mean, if you're like one of those people that has like an anaphylactic reaction, you definitely don't want to label, right? Like, you can just imagine, like, drop a new track, shove the EpiPen in every damn time. That would suck. Our Fornax saying, crazy how you hear the luffs of this track. It's more just that I have my bearings, so I can kind of just compare this snapshot of sound to the mental snapshots of these different standards in my head. And I can say, hey, this one's out of line, or that one is spot on, or this one needs more. Hope it helps you, man. Label allergies are the worst. It's so hard to read. Mainbot49 says, what the heck are luffs? Like, I think I make good music and I do semi-good mixes, but I don't know what luffs are. Luffs is a measurement of loudness. It is a perceived loudness thing. So there's decibels and there's luffs. And when you're looking at a meter and things are happening, it'll tell you where your things are registering. I'll just show you really quick, and then we'll move on. I'll send this music through. Right here, luffs. Over here, decibels. The luffs is perceived loudness. Decibels is registered signal strength, right? But there's when you're talking about decibels in things, it can seem pretty arbitrary because your 0 dB could sound very different than my 0 dB if there are limiters involved. Because you could have a limiter on your project that's holding that decibel meter at 0 dB while you're continuing to push the perceived loudness higher and higher and higher. So that's why we have luffs. So we can kind of gauge on what level is this loudness. On the grand scale of loudness, where does this thing fall? And that's what luffs is. And that is what all the streaming services use to know like how to keep stuff in balance. So when you're listening on Spotify, for instance, it's not going super quiet on one track and super loud on the next or whatever. It's not that luffs is better than dB. What it is it's giving you an indication of the perceived loudness. And then there are certain ranges for different types of sounds or intended uses, right? So like neg 16 luffs is a broadcast standard or is a streaming standard. It's a little bit lower for broadcast, like television broadcast, right? And this gives us the ability to maintain like a benchmark standard on a television set or a radio dial or whatever, so the listening experience isn't that varied and erratic, right? It also makes it much more enjoyable, and it allows us to listen to more. Because without those, people would have their own standards, and some content, regardless of what style it is, would just be simply fatiguing. It would just be exhausting. You wouldn't be able to listen to a bunch of stuff that day. So having the standards in place allows for more consumption. It's really one of the big things there. Lost Fire. Yeah, go for it. I think. I mean, I haven't even looked at the queue to see how long it is. Let's see here. Where are we? We just did 4 next. We got. Oh yeah, go for it. No, I got a few here. Okay, 4 next. That's what I got for you, Mike. Mike G69. Let's do this, huh?
Yo, aquí no venim a impressionar ningú, venim a ballar com si no hi hagués demà. Are you ready? Come on. Come on, Mike. Sí, una altra nit la ciutat vibra, però avui tu ets qui encens la pista. Oblida el soroll, oblida el guió, això és teu. Come on, let's go. Yo. Ei, si aquest ritme et crida, no et tallis, no ets l'única, ja n'estem farts de pistes plenes de postures ridícules. Aquí venim a ballar de veritat, no per fer teatre. Què et sembla la meva proposta? Et posa bé i t'allibera l'ànima. Come on. Yo. Come on. I notes que no pots parar les cames, són elles que decideixen i et llencen cap a la pista. Desmelenes, et brillen les pupil·les i sense voler-ho et converteixes en artista. Tothom et mira, però tu ni t'immutes. El teu flow és tan real que genera revoltes i del no res amb un somriure discret has convertit l'espai en un festot immens. I és que quan et mous el món s'esborra, la pista vibra i la nit s'enamora. No cal corona ni sabates cares, tens el poder dins teu i tothom ho nota. Yo, una volta, un crit, un gest i una rialla i pum, has encès una nova batalla. Per ser tu sense filtres ni armadura, per ballar la vida amb tota la teva soltura. Aquí no cal pressa ni filtres ni façana, la veritat surt sola quan el ritme t'atrapa. No necessites kits amb paraules buides ni missatges cutres plens de mentides. El teu estil brutal, no et sents especial, t'és igual si algú et jutja. Tu vas amb el teu somriure encès, les regles velles es trenquen quan passes perquè tu balles lliure. Mentre l'atmosfera traspasses. Yeah. Yo. Come on. No cal permís, no cal guió, aquí manes tu, no la cançó. Oblida el com hauria de ser, aquí balles com et dóna la gana. I què? Cap mirada et talla les ales, ets foc, ets dansa, ets pura espurna que esclata. Come on. I és que quan et mous el món s'esborra, la pista vibra i la nit s'enamora. No cal corona ni sabates cares, tens el poder dins teu i tothom ho nota. Una volta, un crit, un gest i una rialla i bum, has encès una nova batalla per ser tu sense filtres ni armadura, per ballar la vida amb tota la teva soltura. Quan tornis a sortir, recorda, no cal destacar per la vista, només cal ser tu, i això ja fa tremolar la pista. I és que quan et mous el món s'esborra, la pista vibra i la nit m'enamora. No cal corona ni sabates cares, tens el poder dins teu i tothom ho nota. Una volta, un crit, un gest, una rialla i pum, has encès una nova batalla. Per ser tu sense filtres ni armadura, per ballar la vida amb tota la teva soltura. Old school. Yo. Let's go. Mike G. Come on. Mike G. Disco. Yo. Come on. I és que quan et mous el món s'esborra, la pista vibra i la nit s'enamora. No cal corona ni sabates cares, tens el poder dins teu i tothom ho nota. Una volta, un crit, un gest i una rialla i pum, has encès una nova batalla. Per ser tu sense filtres ni armadura, per ballar la vida amb tota la teva soltura. Before you go.
Okay.
Esto...
I'm reading this thing from Zindromic in the chat saying, I ran a Norton scan. Currently, I have over 1,203,000 some blah, 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 blah things tracking me. Calm down, Norton. That's hilarious. All right, Mike. Congratulations on getting this music thing started, especially post 50. Like, that's great. That's fantastic. I think it sounds pretty good so far. There's volume stuff and EQ stuff that I think we can address this time around. I want you to just keep bringing stuff by, and I'll keep throwing honest feedback at you. These are the first two things to hit. EQ every single sound as tightly as you can. By that, I mean take out whatever low and high frequencies that the sound doesn't actually need to come across well. You're using a really good palette of sounds, meaning that these sounds kind of work well together naturally, but they do need to be kind of skinnied up, dressed up just a little bit. They don't need to be pushed to this level of loudness, but I think that once you start carving away all of the unnecessary frequencies in each sound, everything's going to start to fit together a bit more like a puzzle that actually comes together completely, and you won't be feeling like you're missing any kind of luster or essence from any sound, so you won't be pushing the loudness as much. Things will just kind of be cutting through. You can ease off the loudness. Bring the reverb down a bit in general, just on the individual sounds, and then make sure that you've also got an EQ after your reverb. So on all of your reverb channels, just make sure that they're not too loud and that you've got your low and your high frequencies contained, that you've rolled those off. I'd also set the low end for the whole track to 50 Hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. I'd bring the sub channel down a good 6 dB. If there is no sub channel and all of that's just coming from the sub presence in your bass, then I'd use a shelf to bring down those sub frequencies a good 6 to 8 dB in an EQ. Really good vibes. I think that you've got good energy as an MC, and all of this is just going to become more and more organic for you over time. So keep bringing stuff by. Velvet Gochi saying, is there a delay on the voice? Occasionally the rolled R's sounded doubled. Yeah, I think there is delay and reverb. That's what I'm hearing anyway. Syndremic. Sounds like Norton Antivirus is like, dude, you're using Google and Google is spying on you. System 32 is a virus. Good stuff, Mike. Raphael. This one's called Original Style. Dude, Raphael, this is great for your first EDM track. I think there's a lot of different little elements kind of lurking throughout this track. They're really great. I think that there's softening of corners that needs to happen, if you will. Like stuff feels a little predictable in a few spots and kind of a little bit plain in a couple of spots, where in other spots there's like really deep, interesting things that are occurring with like the way stuff is being delivered or the way something was sound designed or something. So I think part of this is like a timing and a humanization thing. And part of it is just going into the individual synths and adding really subtle things. Like if you're using a wavetable on a lead, like putting a slow moving LFO to modulate the wavetable position of one of the oscillators, right? So you're kind of slowly getting slightly different takes on the same character over time, right? So it's really moving and interesting, and the more you listen to it, the more you're rewarded with nuance, right? So it's these like kind of finer details that you're probably way too close to see right now because it's the first time doing this music. So zoom out a little bit, like 12,000 foot view of this thing, and I think that you'll kind of see that it's a little rigid, and that if you go in, you can start moving things around a little bit, softening the delivery of certain things, using a little volume automation to move something out of the way or to accent it. But more than anything, I think it's going to be little modulation things that are going to help keep interest at play, even when something seems pretty steady Eddie, pretty static for like 10 seconds in the track, which there's not a lot of. But even in that small window of time, the listener's going to hear a great deal of nuance, very small and subtle change. And that'll go a really long way, I think. It's a really good first EDM track, for sure. Stick can come down a bit, STP says. Yeah, there's definitely like some EQ position things in here. Like I can hear some high frequency stuff that could be taken down. So definitely don't be afraid to take a little shine off some things, especially if you've got a really nice synth with good high-end texture in it. Rolling off the tops of other elements in the mix is really going to allow that to shine. So this is all really nuance. Hey, and everything was made by you, so no samples. Okay, so you can go in, and it did take a while, but you can go in and you can further kind of personalize everything that you've already done, right? So that's what I would recommend, is go in and start to make those knobs move a little bit more over time. Kind of soften up the delivery of certain things, accent the delivery of certain things, and step away from it too. You know, you've probably spent a bunch of time with it. So before you jump back in, give yourself like a day or two off from it, work on something different. Let your ears adjust to something else entirely, right? And then come back to it and see what kind of honest reaction you have, right? Or even better, go and don't work on something else, but immerse yourself in really high quality EDM experiences, like from producers that you really, really look up to, right? You enjoy them for specific reasons, and you can start to identify what those reasons are, right? You can have a little talk with yourself, right? Speak out loud, actually talk to yourself, and you can figure this out, right? You can figure out what are these qualities, and am I hitting that mark in my music? And if you're not, you kind of now know where you need to start steering things, right? Yeah. Yeah. Skrillex took 2 years to make that snare. Oh, all right. Keep at it, Raphael, and keep bringing stuff by. Ruin. Quick reminder, just because it popped back into my head right now, there's no live stream next Friday. There is no Feedback Friday next Friday. There's no live stream next Friday. I said it 3 times, so now you can't forget, right? I don't know. That's actually true. Ruin. This one is called Back to Friends. Bustiest Catbot, I have no idea. That's totally in the past. I have no idea. It's dead to me. All right. Loudness. Loudness on this one. It's just too loud. It's just simply too loud. It's being pushed way past where it should be. I think maybe neg 12 on the LUFS on this one for max. I mean, maybe a neg 10 peak, but I mean, it just doesn't need to be this loud. This is really about the emotional impact of the surges. That's really what it is. So what we can't have is for the crescendo of that surge to be unbearable. And I think that's where we are right now, loudness wise. We can't turn this up. If we love it, it's already at its biggest possible loudness. And that's usually a really good indicator that you've got it up too high. So I would also encourage you to listen to this on a variety of different playback systems. So you can get a good idea of how it translates. And then reduce the volume by a lot and make this thing a little bit more near radio standard. Bounce that and then listen to that on a bunch of different devices, because I don't think your mix is bad here. It's hard to judge the mix right now because of the loudness, so I can't give you really like critical feedback on the mix right now because of that. But what I can do is encourage you to do this. And when you do this little experiment, you'll probably hear just how much loss there is when you push something so hard. But it's going to make it easier to identify what's really good and needing improvement in your mix, because you'll be able to really lean in and listen to the details, and you just can't right now. It's just too much. Lost Fire. Let's do this. This one's called Radar. Lost Fire saying, would love some tips for better mixing. Did a ballpark mix on a laptop speaker depending on visuals, but not sure if it's there yet. Just did a whole fab filter, limiter, EQ, and hope for headroom. A little saturated-ish clipping mix is intentional, but scared might be too much. Okay, let's listen to Radar.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, right now. Hands up, hands up, everybody hold, let me see your hands up, right now. Hands up, everybody hold, let me see your hands up. Everybody hold, let me see your hands up. Everybody hold, let me see your hands up, right now. Hands up, everybody hold, let me see your hands up. Everybody hold, let me see your hands up. Everybody hold, let me see your hands up, right now, 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 right now. I'm coming off when you wrong.
All right, loudness. I'm going to turn my loudness back up here. Headphones can come up. Yeah, the ear fatigue is pretty brutal. when we get a really, really good song and it's also too loud because we lean into it so much. We want to hear so much more of it. It's hard for us to actually turn it down. Those are the ones that are the most fatiguing because you're really tuning into it. And that's where we are with this one. It's a really good track. You've done a really good job with all of your sound design, your arrangement, your composition is really on track. But the loudness is just too much. So I had it turned down 27 dB here, and it was still too loud. I probably should have had it at like 36 dB down, and it would have been at a more comfortable level. But that's a big amount. That's a big amount. So back off the limiting. And that clipping issue is going to disappear because right now it's just like, think about it this way. Think about limiting a sound and you've removed the extra space. So now it's pressure. So now we're like pressure cooking our stuff. And the more we squeeze it, the more all of the little guys in the pot are going, and we can start to hear that in all of the sounds in the mix, right? It kind of translates as kind of like a clipping, but really it's just like they're just being crushed. I think that's the effect that we've got here. So Busty's Catbot says, I would turn it up 27 dB. Really, really fire sample. This vocal sample is so good. And your vibe that you've built up around it is just super deadly. It's very good. Definitely chase this one to the end. Can this mixing be enough to send through for a master? Yes. Yes, it can be. Take the limiter off and send it. Yeah, it can be. Don't send it when you take that limiter off, if it says like 0 dB or -2 dB or +2 dB or something like that on your meter, you still need to work on this and bring the levels down. On a track like this, I'd love to see you take it to your engineer with like at least 8 dB worth of headroom because there's a good amount of dynamic flux in this thing and you want to preserve as much of that as possible. Excellent, excellent. Glad it vibes with you. Will help you make it even better. Kata, Catbot, it is you. Let's hear you. Little SoundCloud link here. Medley remix of 3 different Virtual Riot songs being We're Not Alone, Never Let Me Go, and Lunar. Alrighty. Let's do this. Okay, I really like all the changes, all of the moves that you have on display there. But I don't like all the compression and the limiting that's happening because we start to lose detail in the music, and it isn't feeling like we can fall into the music. There's actually no space to fall into. It's all very much at the surface, and part of that is just because Virtual Riot is very compressed already. Like the final output is such a solid little nugget that if you try to do anything else to compressing that, it's just going to squish it into nothing. Um, which is it's hard to hear when this is like something you've been working really hard on. But it doesn't mean that the work that you've done is bad. It just means that it's compressed too much. All of your remixing is great in this. I think that you've got a lot of really good moves on display. So what I'm saying here is that you need to back off the loudness, you need to back off the compression and the limiting, and just rely upon your impressive moves to keep people's attention. The loudness is already there. We don't need to squish it in any other way. So pull all of your really cool, fancy ninja moves. Just don't run it through additional compression and limiting, and see how this is feeling. It also feels like there's added saturation, which is totally fine. I'm a big fan of putting saturation on everything, or almost everything. But definitely watch what frequencies you're targeting with it. And if you can't do that with whatever saturation tool you're using, then maybe take a look at some other saturation tools and see what else you can get out of other tools. Because what it feels like to me is that there's something being applied en masse to the entire mix, above and beyond just the limiting. And it's probably in an effort to make it more. But I think the reason why the feeling of needing more is there to begin with is because of all that compression. We just don't have the detail, the impressive detail. We have the impressive moves, and we have the impressive loudness, but the details are kind of being lost now. So no saturators anywhere. I have no idea what's doing that. It's just the limiting then, because that's actually what distortion is it's all compression. It's all running something into a brick wall in one way or another. It's all distorting a waveform in one way or another. So as you're pushing something to its limit, it's squarifying everything, right? It's taking those peaks, which are your details, and it's pushing them into a homogenized flat line, basically. So now the more that you do it, you're pushing the loudness up from the bottom, and you're not getting any peaks anymore. So you're just getting more and more and more noise. Noise sits at the bottom here. And as you bring that up and up and up and up and up, you hear more and more and more of that, and less and less and less of the details. And that's it. That's the best way that can be described. But that is not a knock on any of your work. Like, that's a knock of that plugin being too impactful on your mix, right? It's just doing too much negative stuff to your mix. You've done some really good things in your mix, and you want to show those things off. So if you want to look up something to learn about and study here, it's going to be compression and what actually is happening with compression when you're applying it. And that will really, really help you understand what to avoid, and like why something is feeling like the more you're adding, it feels like it's just taking away, because it's exactly what's happening in reality. So Velvet Gochis is asking, can there be an inception level of distortion, like applying square transforms on a square wave? Yes. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Sure you can. I do it all the time. And also, you can use incredibly aggressive, like really bold distortion and saturation profiles, and then mix them in very subtly, in parallel, in very interesting ways, and kind of embed them inside of sounds, or like give a light dusting on top of sounds. It doesn't always have to be a fully applied, all in your face kind of thing. So this one is really, it's going to be about like probably auditioning a few different ways to finish this track. What you've done in the track is great. Now you just have to figure out a way for us to be able to hear all of that work like to maximum effect. And like I've already said, starting with something like Virtual Riot, if you're working with not stems but the fully mastered output, it's going to be harder because you can't compress and limit and do the stuff that you're used to doing. So if instead you use just some regular mix stems, and then you can really push those things the way you normally would, and that's how that type of remixing is normally done. So 6 dB every once in a while, probably due to percussion. The only actual things from VR are the vocals. I made everything else from scratch, even transcribed by ear. Wow. Yeah, the work that you've done here is really, really stellar. It's really now just about the loudness and things not translating. And it looks to me, looking at the peaks here, seeing that we're not looking at a brick wall here, what it looks to me like is that it's probably over compression on individual elements in the mix on the sound design level. Like if you go in and you look at the individual tracks themselves and what's being done to them to achieve their sounds, that's probably where you're going to find this being the culprit. Okay. Just a quick reminder, there's no Feedback Friday stream next Friday. I'm going to go play chaperone for my kids' field day, end of the school year. Hooray! So no stream next Friday, but there is a new YouTube channel where you can watch all the VODs and everything, which you cannot do right now here on Twitch because they're in the process of removing a whole bunch of old video content from their servers. They're not allowing everyone to hold all their video content anymore on the platform. So you can go over here to the new YouTube channel. Please subscribe so we can keep you in the loop when new things come out. That's it. I think that's all I got for you. You guys brought some really good stuff today, as always. I'm going to miss you next Friday, but we will be back the following week, and we will be doing our normal production streams on Monday and Wednesday next week as well. So I will see you on those days. We just won't be listening to your stuff on Friday next week as well. But in the meantime, I hope you get up to something really awesome over the weekend and next week and make something truly incredible, because I want to hear it. All right, we're gonna peace out here. We're gonna go visit E-Town, our homies up north. Please give them some love. Thanks for spending the morning into the afternoon with me, or middle of the night, where you are on the other side of the world, perhaps. I appreciate you guys. I will see you on the flip. Peace out.